Inspire 2024 is in the books. Nick, what an evening. Absolutely
Ab-
incredible, wasn't it?
Absolutely. $370,000 and counting. That's blown away everything we've done before. And again, we can't thank our incredible donors and supporters enough. Yeah, again, you guys have just hit it out the park.
Yeah, because of the generosity of two anonymous donors as well as our sponsors, we were able to match every pledge that was $10,000 and under on the night. So because of that, Nick, we just had a really, really big night in terms of the sheer number we raised.
No, absolutely. And we continue to get an engagement. We encourage people to watch this video. If you did miss the event, it was a fantastic event. It really succinctly describes what we do and the impact we're making and why it's so important to continue to donate to NorCal SCI.
All right, let's get into the event.
Absolutely. So I'm going to have to introduce our Executive Director, Arash, who kicks off Inspire 2024. Over to you, Arash.
Good evening and welcome to Inspire 2024, NorCal SCI's 7th annual fundraising celebration. Hopefully you have a beverage in hand and are ready to learn more about what we've accomplished and to celebrate these achievements with us. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking the time to join us this evening. Because of your generosity, we have had our most impactful year to date as we continue to build a thriving SCI community. During the next hour, you'll have the opportunity to learn more about how our programs have impacted the community we support. And to be clear, the impact is significant. As our healthcare system struggles to provide even the most basic needs to many of the newly injured, the demand for our services and support has never been greater. Our programs, grants, and assistance have become game changers for many recipients, and we are constantly reminded by our community of just how important and essential our work has been towards their ability to put the pieces of their lives back together and to live as productively and independently as possible. Spinal cord injuries are life-changing and have a monumental effect on the person who's injured. But tonight, we will highlight the true and comprehensive impact of these injuries. Our feature program will take you behind the scenes and show you what a day in the life of someone living with an SCI involves. Gretchen D'Souza's story will remind us all that the challenges go far beyond just using a wheelchair. We will show you that as devastating as SCIs are, not just on the individuals, but their families, friends, and loved ones, NorCal SCI is here, stronger than ever, and providing an ever greater scope of services and support to this community. We have a jam-packed program tonight, an amazing live auction, an opportunity for you to show your support with pledges, stories, and updates about our accomplishments in 2024, and our plans for 2025. Also, you probably already saw the link to our silent auction, which has already started and will continue until 7 p.m. tomorrow. So make sure you head over there and bid on some truly incredible items. In case you didn't already receive the instructions, here's the URL or check the email confirmation we sent you. I'd like to take a moment and thank our generous sponsors for tonight's program, Waymo, RBC Wealth Management, and Heritage Bank. We're grateful for their support. Thank you, welcome, and let's enjoy tonight's program. NorCal SCI co-founder Nick Struthers needs no introduction, but for those of you new to NorCal SCI, you may find the subtitles useful.
Thank you, Arash, and thank you everyone for joining us on our biggest night of the year. Through your continued generosity, the positive impact NorCal SCI has had on hundreds, if not thousands, of individuals with an SCI, spinal cord injury, over the last 7 years has been truly incredible. We cannot emphasize enough how important your support has been to fund our vital programs that have given hope and independence to so many SCI survivors. In 2004, I sustained an SCI after a mountain bike accident and was initially paralysed below the chest. As the trauma to my spinal cord was not severe, and like fellow board member Praveen Vazirani, working hard on my rehabilitation, I was fortunate to regain nearly all function below the level of my injury. Through this process, I became very aware that this outcome is rare, as the vast majority of individuals suffering an SCI will have significant challenges as a result of their paralysis. In 2014, I was invited to attend peer support at Santa Clara Valley Medical Center, where I did my own SCI rehab. There, I first met Franklin Elia, and he convinced me that despite having no experience living life with a disability, I had an important role to play with the newly injured. It started to become clear to me what an individual could achieve given the appropriate rehab and support despite a debilitating injury. Franklin was that person, a truly remarkable human being. Over the next 2 years, I focused my time learning about the SCI landscape in Northern California, which I shared directly with him. I was also intrigued on how other developed Western countries approached SCI rehabilitation and had an opportunity to visit the Queen Elizabeth SCI Rehab Hospital in my native Scotland. The comparisons with the United States were stark. The average stay in a rehab hospital after an SCI is 80 days in Scotland compared to 18 days in Northern California. More importantly, they have a community infrastructure set up to provide the necessary healthcare, therapies, caregiving and specialised equipment so anyone surviving an SCI has the opportunity to be a productive member of society again. Something had to be done to give SCI survivors in Northern California that opportunity. As there were no other organisations we could join to support this need, myself and Franklin did what was only natural in Silicon Valley, and in 2017 we started up NorCal SCI. Before Franklin tragically passed away in May of 2022, we were already setting plans for the organisation to transition what was the Nick and Franklin Show to an organisation that was less reliant exclusively on volunteers and had a path to continue the vital work that we had started. I am sure that Franklin would have approved the steps our board has taken to strengthen our organisation, making it more sustainable and poised to have an even greater impact on the SCI community. With our Executive Director, Arash now employee number 1, NorCal SCI is ideally positioned to deliver vital services not just now but well into the future. Many of you will be aware that myself and my wife Julie plan to return to Scotland in 2025, and I am so proud that we now have a committed, talented and capable leadership team in place to continue our important work. My direct involvement with NorCal SCI will obviously decrease over the coming months, but I will be honoured to continue to serve as the board chair. Spinal cord injuries are for life, and the newly injured needs are not going away. I really want to recognise Franklin's family and friends, as well as my own dear friends, for continuing to support our worthy cause, and I know that you will continue to support NorCal SCI not just this year, but in the years to come. In April, we were delighted to announce that Mia Natalia joined our board of directors. In 2017, Mia was left paralysed below the waist after a 50-foot fall while hiking in Sequoia National Park. She was our guest speaker at Inspire in 2018 and 2020. A former firefighter, Mia founded her own organisation providing motivational speaking and leadership and coaching. It is my pleasure and honour to introduce Mia.
Thanks, Nick. Living with a spinal cord injury is so much more than just a wheelchair. There's numerous health complications to be aware of, from bowel and bladder care to blood pressure issues to managing spasticity and even chronic pain, just to name a few. For some injuries, there may be impairment to the arms, hands, and fingers, making simple everyday tasks either impossible or incredibly time-consuming, requiring adaptive tools and technologies. There's also the psychological challenges that are inevitable when your personal, social, and professional identity are completely turned upside down. Add to the societal stigmas and navigating a mostly inaccessible world, and you can start to get the full picture of how difficult everyday life can be. But you don't need to hear all of this from me. I'm excited to introduce you to a good friend of mine, Gretchen D'Souza, who lives in Fresno and was kind enough to share what her day in the life living with a spinal cord injury looks like.
Hi, I'm Gretchen D'Souza. I'm 32 years old and I'm a C5, C6 incomplete quadriplegic. I was traveling with my family on a annual Christmas family vacation to New Orleans, and we stopped and I went to go hang out with some school friends on the layover, and on the way back to the airport to meet my family for our next flight, I was hit by a drunk driver. So I usually wake up around 6:30 in the morning, and sometimes it can be difficult. I have spasms and clonus, and it takes a little bit of time to do some stretches before I'm able to get out of bed. I make my bed and I head over to put my contacts and brush my teeth. Alright, so in order to go pee, I have to use a catheter, and it's an intermittent catheter, so I usually go about every 4 hours. So in order to open this one, I have to use my teeth. And it looks like this. It's a cap and a bag. You can see all that. It's really great for like traveling and stuff too. I remember a time when I couldn't calf before, and my dad was my primary caregiver when my mom had to go to work, and he basically locked me in the bathroom one time and was just like, you need to learn how to calf. And it's just one of those things I'm really grateful that he did, but excited because these are independent for me and I'm able to use them. This usually takes maybe about 30 to 45 minutes depending on clonus in my hands and tightness in my hands. Let's make some breakfast. It took me a long time to start cooking independently. There is limited function in my hands, so it can be difficult cutting vegetables or doing things that you don't normally think about, like cracking an egg or using the stove or stirring a pot. Those things are a little bit difficult and take a little bit longer for me. Let's get ready for the day. A bowel program takes about 60 minutes, and then I have to take a shower. So all in all, to get ready, I probably take about an hour and a half. At the beginning of my injury, I could not move from the chest down, so insurance covered a power chair at that time. I regained a lot of function, and so I was able to get a manual chair, but at home I use the power chair because it has a seat elevator, and it allows me to access inaccessible areas of the house, such as high countertops, high cabinets, anything like that. It took me about 6 years post-injury to start driving again. Modified vans and accessible vehicles are really expensive, so I did get some help from vocational rehab. They were able to modify this van with a ramp as well as hand controls, and it costs about $100,000. Here I am transferring to the front seat using a stand transfer, and before I wasn't able to do this, I had to actually have a pivot seat, but it took me maybe about 4 or 5 years of consistently going to physical therapy and feeling comfortable in order to do that on my own independently.
So how does it feel driving knowing that you got hit by a drunk driver?
Yeah, I think that was probably half the battle of getting back into a vehicle and then driving again. I mean, even now I'm not comfortable driving long distances, and I tend to be comfortable driving in the area. It was a little traumatic, especially at night on the weekends when I know there's a lot of drunk drivers out. I still get a little weird about it, so I tend to avoid those situations. All right, so as you can see, it's a little bit of a tight squeeze here. There's a reason why there's hash marks in the disabled parking areas. Obviously, for me, myself, I need to deploy the ramp to get in and out of the vehicle. And as you saw, I did run into this vehicle next to me that is parked over the hash lines. This is also very important, not just for ramps, but like even bigger chairs, or if you need to assemble your chair getting out of the vehicle. So it's important to keep this space very clear and make sure that you're nowhere near the hash lines parked in, or even just a little bit in can make a big difference. So make sure you're good to go. No parking in the hash lines. The level of independence has been so much more than what it was when I was first injured. Every spinal cord injury is different. Grocery shopping can get a little tricky because a lot of the items I need are on higher parts of the shelves, so I'm not afraid to ask for help. I usually ask the closest person or a store associate to grab me all the things that I need. In the last video, you could see that I'm getting ready for SciFit Fresno, which is a neuro-based exercise therapy that I've been able to go to for about 5 years now. You guys are going to see some NorCal SCI recipients also going to SciFit, and it's so important for us with spinal cord injury to have exercise and movement in our lives, and I'm grateful also to have like a standing frame at home and other avenues of exercise as well. Well, you guys have just seen a small part of my day. Sorry, but I'm going out with friends, so I won't be able to show you the rest of my evening routine. It's kind of similar to yours, it just takes a little bit longer. I'd usually cook and eat dinner, and then I'd probably take a shower, brush my teeth, and get ready for bed. But I'd probably also sneak in a little favorite TV show, probably. I just want to say thank you guys for coming along today. It's just a little glimpse, but it's been great, and I hope that you guys have a great time and continue to support NorCal SCI and all the amazing things they're doing for our community. My day. Well, now, I keep saying well. I need to stop saying well. Well, guys, you've seen a little bit about, it's like proper. I'm like never sitting like this either. Okay. Sorry, now you're making me laugh. No, really, bye.
It's incredible to see how far Gretchen has come in her recovery and achieving a high level of independence. But it's a long journey to get to this point, and you all now have a more holistic picture of the challenges that come with a spinal cord injury. See, it's human nature not to complain and just to get on with life. That's why it's super important for NorCal SCI to highlight their needs and to engage our community to make a positive difference. Now I'd like to introduce you to the other newest member of the NorCal SCI board, Marco Serrani. Marco sustained a C5, C6 spinal cord injury in a body surfing accident off of the coast of Point Reyes in 1994. Since then, he's worked as a biotech executive and has been an active advocate and volunteer with a number of paralysis and SCI-related organizations. We're proud to have him on board. Marco, on to you.
Since joining the board, one of the specific ways I've become involved is by coordinating the Smart Home Independence Program. NorCal SCI coordinates the installation of innovative smart devices within the home so that through this program, someone with limited mobility can use voice technology to see and communicate with anyone at the front door, unlock the door, and control the temperature, lights, and electrical appliances in their home, enhancing security and independence. Charlie from Santa Cruz was injured 20 years ago and is paralyzed below his shoulders with limited hand function. He had this to say: "When I am home alone, I now feel safe and secure, being able to communicate directly with anyone who comes to the door, and I now have the ability to reach out for assistance if required. Thank you, NorCal SCI." Another crucial service NorCal SCI provides is peer support for people who are newly in the hospital and the early, most difficult days of their life post-injury. We provide in-person and virtual peer support meetings for some of the largest neurological hospitals in Northern California, including Santa Clara Valley Medical Center, CPMC in San Francisco, and Alta Bates in Oakland. I've personally facilitated many of these sessions, and I've seen how beneficial this help can be. Now, I'm going to pass it over to Tricia, fellow board member and volunteer extraordinaire.
Thanks, Marco. Hi, everyone. I'd like to talk about a few ways your donations support the Northern California SCI community. Firstly, they go towards the multiple programs which help those who might not have the necessary resources to continue with much needed physical, occupational, and psychological therapy once they've left rehab and are living at home. Our longest running program is the Road to Recovery, available for a variety of therapeutic needs, home modifications, and medical equipment, and has made a huge impact in our community. Matthew Gutierrez, a gunshot survivor from Fresno, shared the following. In receiving this grant, I was able to complete renovation of my home's entry gate, which allowed me better access to portions of my home previously restricted to me. My world has been affected positively because someone cared. I am twice touched and twice blessed by opportunities and connections found through NorCal SCI resources like the Road to Recovery grant. Cynthia Villalobos lives in Stockton and was training for the Boston Marathon before her injury. She received a Road to Recovery grant for a specialized two-person tricycle and said, "The trike fulfills my need for the mental and physical health I so badly need and desire, and that I would not have had without your help. I truly appreciate it." One of our programs involves delivering backpacks full of valuable resources to the newly injured, all assembled by Julie Struthers. And there were 200 of them this year. Thank you, Julie. And there's more. The virtual wheelchair exercise classes we offer twice a week through the organization Staying Driven.
Nice work! Let's go, Miss Bonnie!
And the virtual consultations where we bring in a team of SCI experts to advise our community. Thanks to Rebecca, Carol, Erin, and Shelley. Every Friday evening, our Happy Hour virtual meetup continues to be very popular with the community from all over Northern California. And our donated medical equipment program allows our community to obtain essential medical equipment that their insurance won't provide.
In 2023, this program delivered a record of over $200,000 worth of equipment to those in need, for which Franklin's nephew, Michael Bajan, continues to be an invaluable volunteer. Busy, a C4 quad from Daly City, benefited from a donated electric Hoyer lift and standing frame, which was not covered by his insurance and made his transfer so much safer and easier.
In addition to those programs I just mentioned, we've created new initiatives to make sure that anyone in our SCI world has a way of connecting with others in a similar situation. Firstly, our quarterly events. Making friends as a wheelchair user is not easy, so we organise events for our community to meet up, exchange stories and resources, have fun and make friendships. This year we had a winery event with live music in Livermore, and a beach day in June in partnership with Nature Tracks to allow our community to actually get onto the beach in their wheelchairs, some for the first time since they had begun wheelchair life.
Thank you, Nature Tracks, for putting on this amazing thing. Thank you, NorCal SCI. I appreciate everything you guys do, and I just hope everyone has a great day.
It was so amazing. I couldn't stop like a giant grin on my face the whole time, and it was just so wonderful to have autonomy on the beach and get to the water.
Then there was our picnic at beautiful Vasona Park, with adaptive kayaking on the lake, our brewery event last weekend, and we have a Christmas party planned for December. NorCal SCI has been providing individual peer mentorship since the beginning, but this year we took it a step further with a more comprehensive and formalised peer mentor program. This program allows us to connect those with an SCI to one of our 25 trained mentors and bring about these much needed conversations and connections. In the spirit of connections, I'm excited to share that our virtual caregiver meetup group, started last year, continues to provide comfort and support to individuals whose lives have also been turned upside down and have become thrown into the world of caregiving for their loved ones. Our own story of becoming caregivers to our daughter Jo is a typical example, and my need to find community with others on this journey inspired me to start this group with my good friends Robin and Jen. Thank you, ladies, for your wonderful support. One of our community members, Lindsay Ulray, was also inspired to start a virtual meetup group, Wheel Good Motherhood, when she recognised the need for a community of mothers who are in wheelchairs. This group has garnered a lot of support from all the wheelie mamas out there. Thank you, Lindsay. As you can see, there is a lot going on at NorCal SCI, and in order to make sure our community is kept abreast of all of this, we have a very robust communication system, providing a twice-monthly newsletter, a website full of relevant content, social media channels, and our well-used helpline. Our outreach continues to grow, especially on social media, which is managed by Mia, whom you just met. And this is a vital component of what we do and something we are extremely proud of. Thank you again to our donors and supporters. None of this would be possible without your support and generosity to fund these much-needed programs. Now I'll pass you to Praveen to share the fun part, our live auction.
Good evening. Ideally, everyone has had a glass of wine and you're all ready for the live auction to begin. Before jumping in, I'd like to call attention to a few items on our silent auction list. The first one is an electric vehicle charger and installation for a home or business. It can be for a Tesla or any electric vehicle, and it's available nationwide with a value of $2,100. The second item is the $1,000 worth of wine raffle. Tickets are available, and a $100 raffle ticket can get you 10 times that value in wine. Lastly, we have a number of museums, shows, excursions, and experiences in San Francisco and beyond, so there's something for everyone. At this time, I'm going to pass it to you, Dave and Arash, to get the live auction started. Thanks very much.
Wow, Gretchen's segment was just incredible and just wonderful to see and get a glimpse of what life with a spinal cord injury is like. We did this because we've heard genuine interest from our community and our donors about wanting to know more about what living with a spinal cord injury is like. But I do want to point out that while Gretchen's independence is truly remarkable, the majority of people with spinal cord injuries are not able to achieve the level of independence she has. They're in need of so many more tools, services, and support, and that's why helping them and the work we do is so essential.
What was nice also about that segment is we're able to introduce two of our newest board members, Mia and Marco. You heard a little bit about them, and we're so lucky to have them contributing to our board. They are making a big difference. And again, we open that to everybody. If anybody has got some free time, wants to help us out, please reach out to us at norcalsci.org. We'll be happy to speak to you. We've got so much things we need to do.
Yeah, anyone wanting to help is very welcome. So the next segment was the lead in to our most important segment of the night, the pledges. So should we get into the next part of Inspire?
I'm excited about seeing it again.
All right, let's do it.
It's been a true honor to manage the Nielsen NorCal SCI grant for the past 2.5 years, supporting individuals who have been newly injured. It's been wonderful to see how the program has touched the lives of over 80 people throughout Northern California, from Fresno to Eureka. It's a diverse group that ranges in age from 6 to 79 years old. The program's primary focus is to offer a range of exercise opportunities over a 4-month period, aimed at improving strength, fitness, and functional abilities. Additionally, it provides educational, resources, information, and access to peer mentors. We've received extremely positive feedback, and for many participants, the program has been a critical part of their recovery, especially for those who had little or no outpatient physical therapy. Now I'd like to introduce you to Gianna and her daughter Ryan, a recent grant recipient.
We were taking Ryan to school, and we were hit head-on by a man who was in a stolen truck, under the influence, and fleeing from police. He hit our car at over 100 miles an hour, and both of us sustained major injuries and are lucky to be alive. Brian unfortunately suffered spinal cord injuries to her neck as well as to her lower back and is now paralyzed. Before the accident, Ryan was your typical happy 4-year-old girl, just enjoying life, and she was actually in the process of learning how to swim. She was taking swimming lessons, so we were really excited for that. She had just ridden her first pony. She loved to dance and sing. After the injury, we had to change our whole lives, basically. So it took a lot of time and a lot of patience to be able to care for Ryan the way that she needs to be cared for. Thanks to the Nielsen grant and NorCal SCI, we were able to go to SciFit, which has helped Ryan a lot in just her everyday life. And she's happier overall because of the motivation they give her to want to try to do as much as she can.
I really love doing gait training at SCI. I really have fun doing the Zoom class and with other people.
And we're really thankful for NorCal SCI and the Nielsen Foundation for the grant to SciFit, because it's really helped Ryan in her recovery.
Thank you, Gianna and Ryan, for sharing your heartbreaking story with us. We look forward to your continuing improvement. We would like to thank the Craig H. Nielsen Foundation for this generous grant that has made this program possible. The grant ends this month, so it's more essential than ever for us to raise the necessary funds to continue meeting the needs of the newly injured. The Franklin Project at NeuroWorks in Sandy, Utah continues to be a great success for all the grant recipients we sent there this year. The staff in the facility are exceptional at providing critical physical and occupational rehab that includes 2 hours of therapy 5 days a week for 5 weeks. We consistently receive very positive feedback about their experiences at NeuroWorks, with many expressing deep gratitude to the donors who have made this crucial therapy possible. Here's the story of Sindhu, who is a recent grant recipient.
My injury happened during my childbirth. I had some complications with the epidural injection and I started experiencing neurological issues, and that led to a spinal cord swelling, and my surgeon suggested they could try and fix it through a spinal decompression, so I did go for it. But unfortunately it wasn't successful and I ended up being ASIA-C incomplete paraplegic, and my injury is from L1 to L3. And the moments after my injury was obviously very traumatic. My life before the injury was incredible. We were having so much fun. We were camping, hiking, and traveling overseas. It was really amazing. We traveled to so many countries and had so much fun. But with this injury, I'm not able to do much, but we are still trying our best. The impact of this injury has been really huge because having a child and not being able to play with him, not being able to dress him up, not being able to carry him, that breaks my heart every single time I think about it or when he comes to me. The Franklin Project is a game changer, I would say. NeuroWorks is fantastic. I wish we had something like this in California. They have a very strategic plan in place that every therapist know about what to do with Sindhu, where to work, where is her weakness, where is her strength there. It's like a continuous process. Everybody knows everything about you and what to work. And I genuinely believe NeuroWorks has helped me. It has changed my life. I mean, like, I never thought I would be able to walk with crutches that soon. I mean, I was trying to accept, okay, I'm in this chair, maybe I'll be in this chair forever. And I was trying to accept that change. But through the Franklin program and through NeuroWorks, I started to gain more confidence, and I started to gain more strength and ability to walk confidently and use all my muscles. It's been a fantastic journey, and I would say it will be amazing if everyone gets an opportunity like this. So I'm really grateful to the Franklin Project, NorCal SCI, and the NeuroWorks, and to the donors who are really supporting people like me to go for something like this is extremely helpful. So I'm really thankful to the donors and everyone who has supported me and had given me this opportunity to make myself better. Thank you again. Are you following my footsteps?
Thank you, Sindhu. It's so wonderful to see the significant progress you've made at NeuroWorks. Keep up the hard work. We would like to extend a sincere thanks to Del Hull and Jan Black, the co-founders of NeuroWorks, whose partnership made it possible for us to start the Franklin Project last year.
As you just heard from Sindhu, going to NeuroWorks in Utah is a unique and impactful opportunity available to some. In order to give more newly injured members of our community the opportunity for outpatient rehabilitation, this year we launched the Franklin Project Bay Area. SCI Fit, a neuro exercise gym with multiple locations in Northern California, has been a friend and partner with us for many years. Now they've hired 2 physical therapists at their Dublin location, and our Franklin Project Bay Area program gives people the chance to do intensive PT and exercise right here in Northern California. One of our first participants in the program was an 8-year-old boy from Oakland named Asa Luo, who suffered a gunshot wound to the neck while driving in the car with his family, the result of a random freeway shooting. His family reached out to us in the early days of dealing with the immense tragedy of this incident. We admittedly had limited experience with young children, but once they connected with Bobby Huntington, the lead PT from SCI Fit, we knew there was an opportunity to help. Bobby went to Asa's house just to get to know him and establish a rapport, and within days, Asa became our youngest Franklin Project Bay Area participant. Through our grant, Asa worked hard with Bobby and the SCI Fit team to make significant improvements, all while going to school full-time. What an impressive kid. One of our primary goals has been to open our own rehab and exercise center right here in the Bay Area, the Franklin Elia Center, and we are still working hard to realize this. We are engaging with potential partners and hope to have a location decided before the end of the year and to hopefully open the doors sometime in 2025. As you've now heard, we're working hard to address the many needs of people suffering SCIs. The reality remains that these individuals are being provided with less and less rehabilitation, support, and services, and are being discharged from the hospital earlier than ever before and with a greater burden of care on themselves and their families. NorCal SCI has always been aware of these challenges, and we're immensely proud that the funds we raise tonight go directly to our programs that benefit our community. That's why having you all here tonight is absolutely essential for NorCal SCI. With your support and generosity, we can continue to provide and grow the critical help and services that people with SCIs so desperately need.
Hi everyone, it's me again. I just wanted to remind you that tonight's donations are going to be so important for the spinal cord injury community in 2025 and beyond. So let's make tonight's event the best yet. I want to say thank you so much in advance. I hope you have a great night, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.
Well, our pledge section on the night was absolutely amazing, Nick. It started off with a bang with some huge donations, and it continued throughout the evening. It was incredible to see the amount of energy and engagement from our donor community, from our supporters, donating whatever they can, any amount. It's all just so greatly appreciated. And again, as a result of this pledge section and all of the donations on the night, we were able to raise over $370,000 during Inspire 2024.
Yeah, $370,000 and counting. That is a record by a long way. That is really important amount though, because, for example, our Nielsen grant had already been exhausted, and it's so vital that we continue to support the newly injured with these types of programs. So raising that type of money couldn't come at a better time. And we're so excited to share our plans to scale further in 2025. And you'll be seeing that in an annual report that'll be published in January. But again, we cannot thank our friends and supporters enough for, again, really coming through when we needed you most.
And remember that if you weren't able to join us on the night, you can donate anytime you want at the link below. Just check it out. Go to our website. We won't be able to match those donations anymore like we were on the night, but every dollar is greatly appreciated and continues to allow us to do the vital work that we're doing here at NorCal SCI.
So on behalf of myself and Arash, the NorCal SCI board, and the entire spinal cord injury community in Northern California, thank you so much for all your support. It means so much to us.
Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate it.